she won't like.
Well, Angela Levin has written a biography of Prince Harry and joins me now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, I keep hearing, I mean, I don't know Prince Harry personally, right? But I keep hearing that he has changed since he married Meghan. Has he?
Completely, yes. This is almost unrecognisable. When I talked to him in Kensington Palace for my book, he was lively, charismatic, quick-witted, just an extraordinary person to be with, really. And I followed him on his engagements for about 15 months and saw him with people who were damaged, any age, ex-servicemen, children who were terminally ill, a whole range. And in a couple of minutes, he could make huge changes. I mean, one ex-serviceman, very badly damaged and psychologically wounded too, he said to me, in 2 minutes he's given me hope for my life. That was the sort of thing I heard over and over again. And watching him now, he's very tense. He looks shrunken into himself. He's quiet. I feel, and this is my own personal opinion, he feels afraid of upsetting Meghan or saying the wrong thing that she won't like. And I think he's at a very, very difficult time. I mean, I feel sorry for any man who's got to choose whether they go with their wife and their much-loved child or whether they stay with their family, which is his dilemma, has been his dilemma over the last few months. I mean, we heard that the plans to leave are not spontaneous, although they're very disorganized, but they were planning since the spring. So he's had this heavy burden because he adores Meghan. What do you do?
But that is a suggestion, isn't it, there, that then it's Meghan that is driving this. Do you believe that? Was he, I mean, we've always heard that he didn't like much being a royal, but...
Oh, yes, that's completely true. That's why he's in this dilemma. I mean, he said to me that he was fed up living in a goldfish bowl, and when he came back from Afghanistan, where his position as a fighter was revealed, leaked, and he had to, for his own and everyone else's safety near him, he said, I've been thinking of leaving the royal family, going to Africa, working with the animals. But then Prince Philip stepped back in his mid-90s and asked him if he would take over some engagement. The Queen cut down and asked him also if he would do that. And he said to me, I thought about it carefully, and I decided my first priority was to support my grandmother, the Queen, who he adores. And then the second one, he said, was to support Prince William, and he would be always there for him. But it's all gone horribly wrong.
And what do you see his role being in the future? You've spent a long time studying this young man. I mean, is it going to be grubby, or is it going to be statesmanlike?
Well, I don't think it's going to be either. I think what the problem will be is for him to find something that he wants to do and an environment he's happy with. He said to me he never wanted to be a celebrity. Well, if they live in LA, which seems to be their plan, he's got no option, has he? And I hope he will continue with his charitable work with the Invictus Games, which he's made such a success of, and also with Centabile, the charity in Africa, which is for orphans who have HIV, which he's done brilliantly for. But how you do that from a long way away is more complex, I think. And then is this part of what he's going to do for the royal family, and will he get paid for that? Or, is that the only two things he's going to do? It's very, very complicated.
But of course he won't be able to, and neither will the royal family much, be able to control what what Meghan Markle does with
No.
her career. She was an actress before. There's no earthly reason why she shouldn't, or couldn't go back to doing that. Would that be an embarrassment for the royal family?
Well, it depends what she's in. I don't think that they would mind that so much, and they'd have no choice, as you say. But that's acting. I think they're much more worried about, there were rumours that there might be a tell-all interview for which they would be paid a vast amount. There are rumours that she would go into the commercial world and use the royal name for that, which will be dreadful in royal terms. And I think she's made it very clear that she doesn't want anything to do with us Brits or the royals or anything. And it will be very, very hard to keep her under control. I think that's why the Queen acted so quickly and has come out with a very positive note that, they feel they're still family. She mentioned family 8 times in this short note, and they wish they were still there. And there's nothing nasty there at all, because I think that if you do say something nasty, all hell can blow.
So what's your next chapter if you were to write one on Harry? I mean...
Well, you'd have to wait, wouldn't you? You're in the middle of a terrible storm at the moment, and you have to let it calm down. But I think it's the most extraordinary story, unprecedented, and very difficult to see ahead. Very difficult. I mean, we've now got Meghan falling out with her father and other people in her family. Her mother's fine so far, and with her in-laws. It's a very difficult position to be, and yet we see her smiling on the front pages of the papers today.
I wonder how Christmases are going to go in the future, Angela. That'll be interesting. Good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Angela Levin, the biographer of Prince Harry, who said he has changed completely since marrying Meghan. Very interesting. Let's find out about this lovely weather that we're experiencing at the moment. It's all down to Kate Kinsella. It's her fault. Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, horrible.
I'm tired with it now.
You had enough?
Yes.
You like weather?
I do.
At least there's lots of it.
There's a lot of explanation, though.
Yeah,
which, if someone says you've got 15 seconds to explain this, right?